I'm Zach. Welcome back to my channel where I'm going to be talking all things guitar gear, music industry, and also setting myself a few challenges to answer some questions. So today we're going to be looking at the question, just how versatile is the Fender Telecaster? It's been an instrument that's been an absolute staple of music for decades and decades. And in my opinion, it is one of the most versatile instruments you can get your hands on. But I'm going to be putting it through its paces today a little bit. As a working musician, you've got to be able to have a tool that you can play any genre on, any style, get any kind of sound out of that is put in front of you. Maybe the producer asks you for something, or the artist that you're playing a session for says, I'm going for this sound, but it's over to you to create that sound. You need an instrument that can cover all the bases. So we're going to be looking at just how many genres the Fender Telecaster can play. I've recorded some basic tracks, just drums and bass, and then going to be laying down some guitar tracks over the top on this Fender Telecaster here. I'm not claiming to be a master of all these genres by any means, but I've got enough experience just to know what we're kind of aiming for when it comes to tones and sounds with these genres. So enough of me speaking, let's hear some sounds. So the first genre I'm going to attempt is a classic rock kind of sound, big drum beat, kind of driving bass guitar, and we're gonna put the Telecaster for a lot of it on the bridge pickup, this classic Telecaster bridge pickup, and put the gain up a bit. Going to be using the Fulltone OCD, a little bit of reverb from the Bluesky by Strymon, and also pushing the amp a bit with the Xotic Effects RC booster. And then we'll see where we go from there. It may inspire a solo or two, depending on how many bars we've got recorded. But let's see where we get with the classic rocks. Okay, so clearly a Telecaster can do the kind of hard rock, classic rock tones. Again, putting it on that bridge pickup is it's just rock tone that's been used throughout the generations. Listen to any Stones records, it's there. It's just a classic rock kind of sound. It's got a real like bite to it, real sort of high mid kind of punch to it. Really enjoying that sound. It's good fun. We're all familiar with it. But let's move over to more of a funk kind of sound. Thinking Mark Lettieri from Snarky Puppy, obviously inspired by Prince and all the other great funk players going back to James Brown's band. Let's see what a Telecaster can do. So I hardly did justice to all those great funk players out there with that, but again, just a great example of what the Telecaster can do. Spent most of the time on that main kind of rhythm track in the middle position, so the combination of the bridge pickup and the neck pickup got that really funky kind of throaty kind of vibe. Was using the Pigtronics Philosopher's Tone compressor throughout that, just a really nice sort of tight compressor, which just gets that, highlights really the rhythmic sound that you really want for a funk track. Took reverb off completely, which is very unusual for me, and had a little bit of the Fulltone OCD as well going through that. But actually really quite clean and heavily compressed, but just gets that funkiness. And even just something about, for me, I know for me, just the size of the guitar, the feel of the guitar just lends itself to that kind of right hand attack and picking action, which you really need for those funky parts. So I give a thumbs up to the Telecaster for funk. What we're going to move on to now is a bit of country, and this is what the Telecaster, I guess in many ways, is very much known for, that kind of chicken picking playing. Again, I'm going to see what I can do. I apologize to all those great country players out there who do this properly and for a living. But I'm going to have a go at just seeing, again, what kind of sounds we can get out of the Telecaster and get in that country licks ballpark. Let's see how we get on. So yeah, there you go. There's a bit of country playing, just sort of throwing that together a little bit. But you get the gist that, again, the Fender Telecaster, especially on that famous bridge pickup, it's just got that bite, that clarity. It gives you the real sort of helping hand with the articulation of some of those licks. There's no surprise that the Fender Telecaster is used on countless country records. People like Brent Mason, Johnny Highland, Brad Paisley, all of those guys. I mean, that's just to name a few. The Telecaster is built really around some of the design and preferences of those early country players back in the 50s. So Telecaster does the country job brilliantly. We're going to move on now to one of my personal favorites. We're going to see whether the Telecaster can play blues. Let's see what it can do. I mean, well, yeah, blues, definitely. Telecaster can definitely play blues. I mean, blues is one of just my favourite go-to genres to play anyway. It's usually what I start playing when I pick up a guitar. And a Telecaster can definitely do it all. You've got nice, warm kind of rhythm tones on the neck pickup for comping, and you're backing other musicians, laying down those rhythm and the chords. But then you can switch on over into the bridge pickup and have some really ripping tones. I was just sort of playing with the volume knob and with the tone knob as well, as I was kind of working through those tones and through that solo, rolling the tone off a little bit so it's not quite as cutting as it might have been on some of those country licks, but it's just got enough bite to cut through in a mix. I love the Telecaster's simplicity, and especially with a genre such as blues, actually having something simple is actually really important, because it's so much about just people hearing and you expressing what is just coming from your hand straight out of the guitar through into the amp. So actually having only two knobs of volume control and tone control and just those two pickups actually for me really serves blues really, really well. But what we're going to look at next genre is metal. This is the one that I'm dreading a little bit. I have argued with friends about how well a Telecaster can hold up when playing metal. Myself not really being a metal musician at all, but having kind of grown up listening to quite a varied amount of metal music through my friends, I am absolutely certain that a Telecaster can play metal very convincingly and very well. I've seen it done, and I know there's those metal players out there. If that's you, if you are a metal player and you play a Telecaster, put that in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. But let's see what we can do with a Telecaster playing a metal style track. Well, what can I say? It went quite far, and there was quite a few pinch harmonics at the end there, which I guess is what it is. And I again apologise to all my friends and viewers out there who are fans of metal music in all its forms. I gave it my best shot, but I think what we can gain from it is that actually the Telecaster, I reckon with some heavier gauge strings than what I've got on here, I've got 10s on here, I reckon you could hold it down in a metal gig or a metal session. I'll leave that up to you to decide. What we're going to do now, though, to just chill things out a little bit, we're going to move on to our final genre of this episode, and we're going to go a little bit atmospheric, a little electronic as well. We've got some synthy sounds going on in the bass and some electronic drum beats. We're going to see just what the Telecaster does with more atmospheric sounds. Wow, so that got pretty atmospheric. Almost fell to sleep there to my own music. I mean, that was really getting atmospheric. We had a lot of decay and a lot of mix coming from the Strymon Bluesky. We also had a lot of delay from the TC Electronics Nova delay. I think it had a reverse delay going on there actually. Had Analog Chorus from MXR. We had the Boss TR2 Tremelo, just set a really kind of hard tremolo, quite fast, on and off, on and off. I think I hope what I've shown in this video is that the Fender Telecaster, although an incredibly simple design compared to many guitars, it can cover so much ground when it comes to different genres. If you're playing sessions or regularly playing for other artists who have got all sorts of different genres within their back catalogue, maybe you're going on tour and you need a brilliant workhorse guitar that can kind of cover anything that's thrown at you, just highly recommend the Fender Telecaster. They're brilliant. Again, like I say, they're very simple, so it's hard for things to go that wrong with them. And if they ever do go wrong, the fixes are reasonably straightforward compared to other guitars. Just love the way that these instruments have been built, and there's a reason why they've stood the test of time almost unchanged since the 50s. So if you're able to, I recommend getting your hands on a Fender Telecaster. Maybe go out and borrow one if you can. Go out to guitar shops when they're open and give them a go. If you've liked what you've seen in this video, please do like and subscribe. I'm just getting going in the YouTube world, so any subscriptions are really helpful. Sharing my videos around with friends and other people who'd be interested in guitars and guitar gear, that would be so great and very much appreciated. Until next time, have a fantastic week.